And then it turns out that Hughes actually wanted for
Harrison?
no, for Salt Lagoon.
Oh,
So I was like,
That could be a firework game street.
oops,
oh,
want
Okay,
to broadcast that?
yeah, well, for a moment, yeah, oops, that's right. Okay. So, hi, Christy.
thank you thank you for choosing us over Motown.
Oh, man. Will you be singing and dancing or anything? Anybody playing the saxophone? in your
No, but are you gonna
Miss
tape,
Sue?
is Nikki gonna tape it?
No, no, no. It's at the farmer's market. The music, the
Oh.
Motown is a live music on Thursday nights at
Live
the
music.
farmer's
Wow.
market.
Yeah, because you went there last week, right?
I went when my brother was visiting. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, we'll put singing and dancing on the agenda for next month.
Okay.
Where we have to agendize it. Christy, do you know Samin?
Christy,
No.
making introductions.
Well, we could.
Christy is a neighbor of mine
Yeah,
across the
but
street.
that's not what she's asking. She's asking, are we on the agenda introductions?
That we started.
Well, we're online, yes, but you have a call in order if you'd like to, because I'm doing introductions.
All right. Well, welcome everyone who attended, and we're calling this meeting of the UNNC Environmental Committee to order. Let me review the agenda real quick. We're going to go fast because our time is precious. There, such grand. And then we'll do introductions. So we'll have the comment, all important, get it off your chest. Right after this, think of something, everybody quick. 3 is a possible community impact statement regarding composting. That's city composting. They collect so much green waste. They want to collect more. They want to keep more of it in town. So finding places for that to go. And so there's a motion. If you're here, yeah, you'll have seen that this is the motion.
Yeah, I'll share it when we get to it.
Then we have the cleanup to get a little bit closer to. And so to talk about, then we have the green master plan update.
So we'll do that very briefly.
Very briefly, but I did make a map and show some medians that we could adopt if we chose to. Building a list of allies and partner organizations. I think that would be meaningful to more hands make quick work. And then I am awash with information. And so talking about compiling it into a newsletter and resource list type thing is in my interest. Then we could get more information out to more people. That's the agenda.
No, not
No?
quite.
No, that's not it.
It's all,
There's one more. Oh, we have a CMO director, a new CMO director.
right.
Great. And then there's an action related to that. So stay till the end. And then new business, old business, and then we'll adjourn. Let's move to general public
Can we
comments.
do introductions?
Let's have general public introductions be part of our general comment.
Okay.
And we go ahead, you go first.
Sure. Laura Myers, guys remember there may be people watching on YouTube.
Hello, you two.
Yeah, Laura Myers, I'm on the UNNC board and I live in Angeles Vista.
Elizabeth Fenner, AirSats leader of this group, who needs a lot of help. Member here for 16 years.
Sunmin Lee, I am a stakeholder and a resident, Jefferson Park, Region 5. Hi, Christy.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Christy Webb. I live on the avenues near the Elizabeth, and I'm a member of this committee. And I don't have any gripes. Did we get to gripes yet? I have something to praise when we get there anyway.
Oh, go ahead,
Go
for it.
ahead, it's general public comments.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to say, I wanted to praise Marius and say that the Friends of the Library had a very good gardening, native plant gardening presentation. And Marius showed a slideshow that educated us all about it. There were a number of families at the library, the Washington Irving Library on Washington. And there were a number of families there with children ranging in age from babies in arms to teenagers or young teenagers. So that was very successful. And then Marius, after the slideshow to educate people about native plants, he then did a presentation with actual plants and how to repot them and take care of them, and the kids really like that.
Is he from the
UNNC.
oh, Marius? Okay, so
Yes.
he's not from like Native Plant Society
No,
or
no. He volunteered to do this for the Friends of the Library, and he does it to a lot of different organizations around town. And he got we tried to get the plants from Theodore Payne Foundation, but didn't get a very robust response, let's say, about donating some plants for the actual planting part of the event. And he was able to get them from another nursery not too far away called Artemisius, I think is the name of it. And that woman was very forthcoming with the plants and very happy to be involved.
So Marius, this is Laura speak. Marius was on the UNNC board for quite some time and partnered with Elizabeth on a lot of native plant and environmental efforts.
Oh.
And he comes and goes from this committee. That's his work life allows.
I love native plants.
Yeah.
I'm planning on planting some red buds this winter. So
Well,
Peter, on my way.
Okay,
you don't
and
That far anymore.
and you might want to talk to Marius because he has a lot of knowledge about, what's
So he'd be
good.
very upset that I planted a bunch of queen palms in front of my house. Sorry, I love them, but I did it.
There is, Theodore Payne has a new nursery called, what's it called?
Los Nogales.
Nogales.
Oh,
And it is closer to us.
Oh, okay.
It is in along the 110 freeway. Where do we get off at Highland Park? Well, not even that far. It's the same exit
I'm not
as Heritage Square.
Yeah, it's not very far, and it's near that park, that Deb's
Yeah,
Park.
Yeah, Deb's Park and the
That's-
Audubon Society.
Oh, right.
it's
the Audubon
convenient.
Society. Mhm.
So we've taken the freeway there. I've gone with Christy, but when we leave, I make her take streets home. So we're we're learning the name.
well, my hope was to turn Tim's Kitchen, that back vacant lot, into an urban food garden with native plants, but he's gonna sell it. So unfortunately,
Oh, okay.
nice. I think if we had an extra $1 million, would.
So, I have a couple of, Laura speaking, a couple of announcements that I think we all know already, but tomorrow night is Movies in the Park right here, not in the house, but next to the South Seas House in Benny Potter Park. And they're showing Disney's Elio. UNNC will have a table and the kids will love us because we're giving away candy and Takis, which are something. Bags of a kind of chip. And the council office is the basic sponsor, and they've got Nays tacos, and it's all free. And hopefully we have some brochures, but I don't think the kids care. And you're gonna come with the
Tent and the game.
we don't need the tent
We don't, we just need the game.
because it's 5:30. We don't need a tent.
That'll be.
Yeah, well, we need the game. I need the blue tablecloth because it's in your backyard. You don't even know it for the party. It's stuffed in one of those games. We can talk about it later. And Teresa is here. Okay, and then another announcement, also not related to this committee at all, but UNNC sent out an e-blast today, and I'm hoping all of us can do this. It's a survey for the Southern California Association of Governments, and it's not exactly a survey. They're planning, preparing a campaign about transportation safety. And, yes, but for the record, what they're asking people to do is look at the various proposed campaigns to say which one would be the most effective. So it's not the campaign itself, it's a preview of campaigns to help create the effectiveness. So UNNC is one of the many community partners that they've partnered with.
What group is it?
Well, it's Southern California Association of Governments.
Oh,
And they asked UNNC, they also asked West Adams Heritage and others, I mean, many groups,
Yeah.
to send out to their stakeholders.
And what did you say, Laura? That it was something to do with safety, public safety?
Transportation safety.
Safety.
So-
transportation.
So for people who are walking, biking, driving,
Mhm.
so this isn't the actual campaign, this is the pre-campaign. That they're asking for input into what would be an effective campaign, to get people more engaged with the whole idea of traffic or transportation safety.
Okay.
I haven't taken the survey yet, so I can't say more than that, but you will, if you're here, you probably received the link to the survey. That's the main thing I was trying to say. That's the end of my announcements.
I'd like to welcome Teresa to the meeting, and hello.
Hi
Do you want
there,
to introduce
Elizabeth.
yourself?
I just wanted to say thank you so much for the personal invitation, but I have a standing dinner with my husband, sorry. So I just wanted to say thank you because it was very nice of you to send out the text and also the an email that keeps that kind of a reminder for everybody. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
You're welcome. And I'm sorry that we interrupted your dinner. Is it
No, that's
always on?
not right.
Is it always on
That's
Thursday?
right. No, I didn't hear you. What did you say? Sorry.
Is it always on Thursdays?
No, it's actually every night,
Oh.
except for Friday. But it's summertime, so we try to enjoy our backyard and spend some time together. So I'm gonna be committed to that.
Okay. Well, I am going to try to write up, what happened at the meeting for anybody who wasn't able to attend and wants to know the information. I'm going to try.
I'm gonna give you the transcript.
You're going to give me the.
And I also
Okay,
watch the YouTube video. Sometimes I put YouTube video on of our meetings and I just leave it in the background and listen to what's going on. So we'll try to listen
Oh, that's
tomorrow
great.
over the weekend.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well,
Okay.
thanks. Nice to talk to you.
Bye-bye.
I guess one thing that I learned interestingly was that I live right next to a very problematic property that's in probate and is has waters. And they have like a $40,000 water bill because the pipes are broken and the water's just been gushing. And the DWP hasn't been able to turn it off, but they finally told me that they are now given the green light to be able to turn off the water for places where they don't have a bill, where people are not paying their bills. So I was like, this is such a waste of, I don't even know how many millions of gallons, because this has been broken and gushing for, I think, probably a year.
Where is
So-
this? What? I
This is
missed-
on Jefferson Boulevard and Edge Hill. It's right
Oh,
next
yeah.
door to me.
All
next to
right,
my-
right,
This
right.
property that has been, it's had police activity, it's had SWAT units come in, it's just very problematic. And I've been suffering from this vibration that I've been feeling from this, I don't know where. I've been trying to narrow it down for the last year. And I finally realized that it was from this pipe that was just gushing with water and
Right.
vibrating on the property and bouncing my property. So finally got a hold of DWP and they're like, our hands have been tied up to this point because of COVID and they haven't been able to do anything about these kinds of, nuisance properties that
It's a
become
nuisance.
such a
That's
burden.
what I was going to say. It's a nuisance. You should tell
Yeah,
the
it's a nuisance.
city attorney's office.
Well, they are involved and
they should be
and
involved.
all of the things that I've been sending to my SLO and to our, Jefferson Park Watch and through the CD10 got actually taken by the city. They got subpoenaed And the property owner is very litigious. I didn't realize how litigious he was, because as soon as he got a hold of me because of all my letters, he called me, and I thought he was gonna try to solve the problem, but instead he tried to drag me into court with him.
Oh, yeah.
So then all of a sudden I ended up getting an ex parte, and I was like, what is this? Very surprised by it, but anyway, this might actually become a problem because I'm announcing it here.
Well, yeah,
But
and
thank
the law-
goodness the judge said denied. And so hopefully it'll stay that way, as long as, I just want this property not to become a hazard.
Right.
I mean, a sinkhole could have.
Well, a sinkhole, mosquitoes.
It's,
Yeah.
And I don't wanna spend a lot of time on it, but I'm making a note of it.
Yes.
Because at least NCSA might be able to have a speaker from DWP or whatever it is that handles leaks. Because several years ago, I got a call from DWP who said, our system is telling us that you have a leak. They came to me and it was my pond. My
Mhm.
pond was leaking just a little bit, but it was enough to for them to know. So if they can study these things, they must on some level have, or should have been made aware.
it was
that there a
reported
risk.
through LA, Los Angeles Housing Department. It was reported various
Okay.
places, but because it's litigious.
Oh.
It's probate and it's litigious.
Oh.
No one could do anything about it. So it's basically falling through the cracks.
Um,
There is a device that LADWP will send out.
yes, the flume.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that'll tell you about
Right.
some leaks.
Right.
It was going off every day for me.
You
But
know,
for some reason, it was always going off. Let's move on. Glad to, next is, community impact statement on council file 260925.
So I
Go
don't,
ahead.
this is Laura speaking, because this is on the thing I put on the agenda. I try not to put stuff on Elizabeth's agenda, but then I do try. When council files come out. So basically, and this was on the agenda as well, basically the state has a law that makes cities now reduce the amount of organic material that they send off to landfills. They're trying to prevent methane gas from organic stuff in the landfills. So the city at this point is not doing a really good job of diverting the organics from the landfill. In other words, most of us are not putting every single leftover piece of food and dirty boxes in our green. We're trying, but we're not very good because it's a little disgusting. Especially at the beginning of the week after trash is taken. But in any case, what the city's not been able to do is convert the converted food waste into compost right here on premises. So most of that organic material is still being trucked away. This motion,
And it's high quality stuff. apparently.
well, probably, I mean, it's not different than the stuff that they do put into compost. It's just there's too much of it. Right, I mean, in other words, I can't tell you what is being made. They are making compost. You can get your city-made compost delivered to you or pick it up at you know, I want to say 24 something East Washington.
Keep going.
I'm trying, but much of it is being trucked out. So, or that is 350,000, most of the 350,000 tons of compost mulch annually. Okay, I'm not reading this right. They create 350,000 tons of compost and mulch. However, not much of it is used in the city. So this motion is a couple of things. One, trying to establish a master plan that unites several different things going on in the city. And two, trying to keep the finished compost here and used in Los Angeles instead of being trucked away to be used on farms in the Central Valley.
Because apparently, and we have this motion, which has more of the details. and
Right.
I've read it 4 or 5 times and I finally think I'm understanding it.
It's a little
But
confusing.
we pay
Yeah.
to long haul truck it 100 miles out into farming into the Central Valley for farmers to use. But it noted that taxpayers are paying for that, for it to be shipped out, and we're
Right.
not getting the benefit of it. And so one is they want to expand the program so that commercial properties are required to separate and put in green bins. Multifamilies are going to be required because it's state law
Mhm.
that we have to do that. And so, right, the back of it, the I further move is from our esteemed Bob Blumenfield, Adrian Nazarian, seconded by Eunice Hernandez, had all these things about what need to happen with the compost, and it's complicated. How we are involved is that the council is supposed to instruct the Bureau of Sanitation to solicit input from the public, including but not limited to neighborhood councils, in order to develop this policy.
Right, so this is Laura speaking. So there's an important missing element, which is the city of LA does not have a composting facility that's hot enough to actually compost so-called compostables. Most of the plates, bowls, cups that are labeled in your grocery store as compostable are not compostable by the city of LA. There's only one, maybe one kind that is. And so people may be buying all these labeled compostable and throwing them in their green trash can, but they're having to be separated out. So one thing that's not here is build a composting facility that's actually warm enough. So what usually happens with a community impact statement, I don't think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to take it off the screen. Most community impact statements take a look at a motion and say that we support it. These are the reasons why, or we oppose it. These are the reasons why, or we support it, but we have these suggestions. So I think we're in a situation of we're supporting this, but we have some suggestions. So that's one problem it's not addressing. Another problem it is not addressing that I hadn't even thought about until I saw a flyer from the BLQ, which is Byzantine Latino Quarter Business Improvement District. So they're, I think, having some ongoing seminars for their food related vendors, their little restaurants, about what to do with the leftover food.
Wonderful.
Right. And then I was at Chipotle.
Yeah.
Kind of at 8:30, whatever night. And the manager admitted they throw away their food, but they don't throw it away separated to go into compost. They just, I mean, so because it's a problem, they're, where would they take it? So I think that's another thing we should address, that the city needs broader educational programs for the restaurants. That would be similar to, maybe we could call out as something to emulate, but as you probably know, the Garden School Foundation has a program called From Cafeteria to Compost. And it's also grown from their own yards to something quite much larger. But I don't think LASD has adopted it area-wide. And Chrissy's been trying to wave.
No, I have a question about the restaurant thing. Most restaurants don't get picked up, their trash probably doesn't get picked up by the city, it gets picked up by private vendors like Republic or whatever, like the apartments in this neighborhood. So if they don't pick up green waste.
They do pick up green, but the restaurants may not be putting their food in the green.
They do pick it up separately.
Yes, I mean, it's a requirement.
But honestly, you're right, compliance is an issue. Because the school I work at, the elementary school, they put every single thing in the trash bin and then put it in the trash. So that's recyclables, food, plastics, everything in one big trash bin.
Right.
And it's a union thing. You can't tell a union member to do anything. I mean, no, in this case, it's the janitor who said, no, I won't do that. And then she prevailed. And because she has a protection of her union, I love union, whatever, blah, blah. So the point is that on the amendment, we would add is that there needs to be greater
Well,
education, a systems management, systems assistance with.
all of these
All-
different elements, and the city needs to figure out, I mean, two different things. And, you know, so how to build better compliance, which is an educational program, in multiple languages. I mean, there's been very little true education on this. Food is, you know, I mean, they've made a flyer, but the only entity I've ever seen passing it out is us at events.
Right, right.
Right, I mean, I haven't
I
ever
thought
seen
that was-
anybody else passing it out.
I mean, we need public service announcements. We need an
Yes,
Instagram channel. We need,
Yes,
we need
yes.
all these, seriously, we need
Right.
Ariana Grande to say that she separates her
And
trash.
she keeps her chicken wings and puts them in on Sundays. Or whatever.
And then too, we have to have a system that says, you know, to every restaurant, we will pick up your green waste every night.
Or your
or-
food waste, I mean,
Your food waste, every night, because of course they're not gonna do it, because they want, I mean, the smell will be
but they can't leave
horrible.
it around, but.
right, they'll bring rats.
And
Yeah.
what about apartments? Because I know the apartments on this street don't separate anything. It all goes into a you know, a big blue.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not seeing a lot, well, okay, Gramercy Apartments, which is where we have our board meetings. They do have a standalone green
Yeah.
big bin because it goes out on a different day than the blue and the black. So I see it sitting by the street. So it's not impossible, but most of these buildings weren't designed for three. I mean,
Right.
I mean, we have a big problem. I don't know what the solution is, but I don't see how this is addressing it other than by saying, let's make a master plan, which, you know, is interesting.
I have a question. What about just doing the food disposal in your sink, putting it all through the wastewater treatment
They
system?
don't want us to do.
They didn't want us, okay, because I remember one time that was one route they preferred. And I wasn't sure which city I was living in at the time where they preferred that. So I was
Your
like,
plumber prefers it because it makes him a lot of money. Because it's not good.
And it uses a lot of water.
Yeah, it's not good for.
I wasn't sure what-
Garbage
no.
disposers don't really want to accept all that food.
So what are we being asked to do?
Well,
about
so
this?
a community impact
at this
statements
point?
is, it's very protocoled, if I can say, in a template. It's, so we have to write something that's no more than 2,000 characters and spaces, and better to try it a little less. And part of that is just a boilerplate piece about United Neighborhoods, you know, at a vote of our, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so I think we support this motion, but I don't think we have any opposition to any element within the motion. But that we would, you know, that we would say something like, UNNC has been engaged in a master green plan effort of our own, but we've been talking to many stakeholders lately, comma, and, because I think we need to promote ourselves. And we have some additional suggestions, and here's the reasons why. So I mean, I'm willing to write it, but I just want to make sure that we have a vote behind me to include the elements we talked about today, and that'll be in the transcripts. I'm not taking any notes. And so I can create a community impact statement to have at the August board meeting.
Great. I'd like to help
Oh,
create that.
yes,
I'd like to help you, you know, be a partner with you
Sure.
on
Well,
creating. it.
I'm saying I'm volunteering to spearhead.
Thank you.
I'll say it a different way,
Oh,
but
I
these are,
see.
the elements, you know, build the facility, figure out a better education thing for restaurants and other food related businesses.
Right.
And thirdly, educate everyone better about, you know, say,
So we would include, yeah, education, and I wanna
I mean,
say,
broad public
public
education and
yeah.
targeted education for restaurants and other food businesses.
Hmm.
So-
Well, I think
And
that
it-
what you talked about in the other.
Oh, and cafeteria compost has a thing that works, but we don't have control over LAUSD.
and I have to, I wanna include a deadline for compliance. let it be 2
Which
years.
was done, the deadline was a year and a half ago.
No, I mean, for restaurants and residents to funnel food into.
Well,
the green
yeah,
bin.
we were supposed to be compliant starting in,
But there's no, I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard to enforce.
no, I
But you could
understand,
enforce
but
with
I don't
restaurants.
see how we can do a,
Well, other than the green bins, does the LA sanitation provide compost bins for people? Because I compost at home,
They,
but I have raccoons as well visiting me. So
yeah, well.
I'm like, okay, but I have a big
Okay.
garden and I don't think anyone else does.
So part of our recommendation, you can get a free compost bin, but you have to kind of do something to get it. And that's not
A little
necessarily,
thing.
no, the little things you don't have to do anything to get, they just need to give us more of them to hand out at events.
Oh, you're talking about the
But
square.
the actual big, you can get a free compost bin, but you can take a city sponsored composting workshop and
Hmm.
get one. That's usually the best way. I mean, there's some events you can go to, so maybe that's one more element, expand the free compost bin program for residents.
So the thing I've been doing is the homeless have been bringing the green bins from other places to my neighborhood. So there's a pile of green bins in my neighborhood.
Right.
So now I have,
Abscond with the.
yes,
other-
they just take
Yeah.
us.
Why?
Because no people, I don't know, I didn't ask.
We
why
leave
they
them
would
on
do
the
it,
street
but
for more than
they're
2 minutes and they're
everywhere.
gone.
So I have now 3 compost bins or 3 of these green bins, and I'm just using one that's cracked as my compost.
Oh, that's
bin.
interesting.
Wow.
Well, we're not gonna put that in our CIP.
Why not? Why not just
But-
have people just
But
use it? as a
I
compost bin?
think we can comment as well, what the city did do in response to this law is they distributed a lot more of the green bins, particularly to multifamily properties.
Mm.
They counted the number of units and they gave them sometimes 20 bins where they had no place to keep them.
No,
That's why they stayed on the
they
street.
got filled with trash.
I
They got
see.
filled with trash.
So, okay, but I mean, I have a sense of it, I know Elizabeth's sense is, let's move on. But that's what I'm hoping we're
Can-
okay with.
Okay.
That sounds good. Can I ask you one other question about the distribution, the paying to ship this compost that they are able to make? Why did that happen? Because I
Don't know.
remember when we first talked about this, there were all kinds of different venues that they were going to be able to send compost to, but what happened that we have to ship it elsewhere?
Well, we're
How
shipping
does
it-
that get remedied? How do we have
Well,
create?
that's what this, I think that's
more-
what this motion's about.
Okay.
I think they just didn't take I mean, they're saying, let's not do that anymore, let's work it out.
And it's a huge undertaking, because now they're trying to find urban farms and urban gardens that will want a bunch of compost
Yeah, well,
regularly.
I mean,
Usually,
think about
there's
how
so
much
many-
is being produced by the
Well,
city.
350,000
And
tons a year.
and the thing is, like, farmers need it. They need it for every crop. They need a lot of compost for every crop. We don't, we need mulch for the top of the ground to
So-
for the moisture. But so it's a challenge.
Mhm.
Well, I think frankly, most of us don't know the difference between the two.
Now, is it,
Yeah.
finished compost or
Compost versus mulch,
mulch?
Well,
what's the difference? I don't answer that question, but what I'm
No.
saying, I'm agreeing with Elizabeth that, once you plant your garden, you don't plant it again. So that if you're talking about the compost you mix into the soil, that you only need it again for annuals, but you don't need it again for perennials, trees,
And natives hate compost.
Well, I have a vegetable garden and
And that
and I use it to suppress the weeds.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, that's
I live
mulch,
on-
but that's
But
mulch.
it's like just, but I'm pretty non-processed food oriented, so most of my compost is compostable. Most people eat processed food, and so that's the part that's not compostable.
Right.
So,
Okay, well, anyway,
Good discussion.
good discussion,
Good
I'll work
discussion.
on it.
To be continued. Number 4 is the neighborhood cleanup. We are not. Okay. This Saturday, at 8 o'clock, I will be going out to a corner. I'm already eyeballing Crenshaw and Adams. Now, starting at Maryland's Soul Food Kitchen, and then going down Crenshaw a little bit, and then past the True Value Hardware store to around the corner to Master Burger. And maybe Ace Hardware, is it Ace Hardware? And then around the corner, past Master Burger and past a new little Five and Dime there, all the way to, I think it's the pet place. It's the new,
The
Canine
doggy
place.
steak.
and that's all, that's it.
Are you going all by yourself?
Well, no, I have Ed Saunders who said he would like to go, and I had one more person, I wrote their name down, it might have been maybe Ramia, but it might not have been somebody else. I got 2 people. And I wanted to start doing it. Like I can put gloves and bags and brooms and a couple of the scoop things in my car. We can do it. I ran into Allie on the street the other day, and she talking with her about the cleanup. She said, if I have 6 people, we have 6 people regularly, then she can step in and provide us services. But we need 6 people minimum per set, and we need general like once a month.
Right. So had you, part of the task was that you're gonna check in with Mink and maybe other neighborhood councils and cleanups to find out how they were approved by the city clerk, or were they approved?
So Nick Spano, I think,
That's his,
who helped spearhead the one for Mink, he did not sponsor them. He doesn't work with the city. He did not suggest that. And
so Mink is merely promoting his private cleanups at this point, because they are certainly promoting it.
right,
And that's fine, that's what I'm trying to find out. Because promoting somebody else's thing does not require the city clerk to have approved an
Right.
event.
right. That's right. But he did not say, I said, so I'm gonna have to find, a business in the area. And he said, absolutely not. He said, we businesses, we have a hard enough time. He said, I did this before I started a business here.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he's
he
already,
had bought the building, but he
Oh.
hadn't started the business.
okay.
And I recommend having some sort of, I was thinking about doing that, and I was thinking, it would be really great if you had a vest that said UNNC and you look official.
Yeah.
As opposed to a bunch of people just picking up trash.
Right.
And if you had a video blog and a YouTube channel where you're like, hi, my name is, and I'm doing this is where, and look at all this trash, and like you have an ongoing PR
Mhm.
But
YouTube channel.
also, if you had let Hunter and I know in advance of us I've squandered MailChimp for the week, can't use it again. In advance, I could have put.
Well, no, I'm not ready.
Okay.
I'm not ready to
But
have
I-
15 people because I
Okay.
can't provide gloves. I can't
Right.
provide, I won't, I can't, so I can't provide vests. I
If you had a
won't.
printout or something like,
Yeah.
the safety vest or something.
Well, we should
then you
ask-
should have them in your events
Okay, we should,
in general.
That's a
so
great idea.
will you ask Sandra Pruitt,
Mhm.
did she retain, I hope she did, and the safety vests that we purchased
Mm.
for the Leslie Shaw Park event?
Oh,
Because we
okay.
purchased like a dozen vests. I'm not sure they landed in our storage.
Do you have a YouTube channel? When you were running, you must have had a.
I have an Instagram and a YouTube. It's
There you
not
go.
hard to do.
Yeah.
You recommend that I use my
Yeah.
own?
Well, we
I mean,
have,
you gotta,
UNNC has a YouTube channel, but you have to find out from Teresa how to use it.
Okay, ask Teresa about the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay,
because you wanna make it an event. You don't wanna just be like, oh, Cause
Yeah.
it has to be something that people feel like it's more than just.
Right.
you know the saying, there's a saying that most small businesses die of indigestion faster than they die of starvation. Because when a small business starts and it gets all excited about new ideas and grow. And then it doesn't know how to grow, it trips over itself. I'm afraid of that. So like 2 people, if 2 people show up on Saturday, I would want to get vests as soon as possible. And I want to get t-shirts, I want to get, but 2 people show up, or if you'd be interested in like to be the 3rd person, that would-
Oh,
I have-
what
you-
time, Elizabeth?
I want it to be 8 o'clock.
Oh.
I want it to get it done. Go home at 9 o'clock, take a shower, and the rest of your day is cake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just and then also maybe it's not so many cars on that corner. Maybe. But so that's the idea. It's 1 hour this Saturday, starting at 2. I mean, sorry, with 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. I have four brooms. I have things that we can use, but for more people, and then for publication, I need to secure.
Right, now I will say,
cleanups.
we used to have something called UNNC Trash Force.
Okay.
And Amy, somebody on 7th Avenue ran it. This
Okay.
was years ago, this was pre-COVID. That's how we actually got a couple of small grants
Oh.
from Public Works, because we did manage to pick up, you know, whatever the target was, 100 bags of trash, I mean, whatever it
Okay,
was.
yeah,
They
yeah,
did
yeah.
it, right? So, but
Yeah.
it was UNNC Trash Force.
Okay,
And so maybe that's not a bad name.
yeah,
And
even got a
reactivate
grant.
it. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't get, yes, it was a grant challenge thing, and I wanna say it was probably 2016, it was a long time ago.
Some places clean the same area every time. I don't propose that we do that. I
Right.
propose that we move around, and I have a whole list of things that I'd like to accomplish, including photos every time that we do it, an attendance sheet every time, so that we can give credit to people.
Right. So Hunter, if you take photos, can certainly after the fact, put
Put
the
them on
photos on the
social
UNNC
media.
social media.
It would be even better if we had vests. I'll
I
send
mean,
it to
I'm
you.
thinking that, it have to be for more than just the cleanup.
Yeah.
Like it has to be something that is like a consciousness thing, or like, other than, so I'm like, well, what's the program behind it,
Right.
because it's a lot, there's a lot of things people want to do. So
That's why I wanna do it early in the morning to get it over with, so people's other activities are after that. But I think there's so many benefits to it. It's cohesion with neighbors. It's doing something literally quite good for the neighborhood. Cause I would also like to pick up trash, and I would like
and you want to make sure that the neighbors know.
Right.
absolutely getting to know the businesses.
If you're there and the trash is just gone, and they're like, the trash is just gone, they don't see you doing it, they don't see why you're doing it.
I'd love to bring some colored chalk and write on the right where we've been, like UNNC was here, UNNC Trash Force, little hearts, stars, flowers.
You're noting that chalk doesn't go away that quickly either, if you've looked at Adams Boulevard this week. All the chalk that was cute for play day, is still there.
Yeah,
Because it hasn't rained, yeah, it hasn't rained.
But
Okay.
fantastic. So, all right. So Christy, yes?
Yes.
Interested? Done? Are you interested?
Oh, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And you know I'm not,
All right.
not
all
at
right.
8 AM,
Okay,
not at all.
okay. So next, and it is 7:43.
Well, this will be quick because Caesar's not here.
Right.
UNSC Master Green Plan update. So we are not dragging out the green plan to the movie in the park because I don't really think the 5-year-olds will have much to say about it. So we're trying to figure out a couple of other summer things. And some of you have already heard this. We're gonna not officially say partner, but not sponsor, partner with Harvard Heights to have a sort of prop up at one of the local coffee houses, and bring the green map there. And I've now spoken to the Arlington Heights Neighborhood Association, also died a death during COVID. I mean, so many entities didn't get together, but their leadership, with 4 or 5 people who are kind of key leaders, are talking about bringing it back. So I'm gonna in turn talk to them. And some of them are former UNSC board members. Say, there's this new coffee roaster at 10th and Washington. They haven't opened to the public, but maybe they would also do a pop-up for Arlington. So, I'm gonna see if I can pull those strings, manipulate into, so we can bring the green plan there. And other than that, I don't really know what we're doing with it. It is interesting. Caesar arranged a walkabout in Jefferson Park on June 30th that include, you were there, right?
I was there.
Yeah, my brain dead. Sun Min was there, I was there, representative from the Department of Transportation was there, CD10 was there, our Gina Fields, who's the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners, the new Board of Neighborhood Commissioners member was there, a lot of neighbors were there.
That's,
Yeah, I mean, it was
you have to
important.
get decision makers, you gotta get people who are
Right.
gonna be part of the program.
Um,
You wanna
Right.
build a program, so I
Right.
think that was what he was trying
and
to do.
NOLA was there from
TLC.
PP, Trust for Public Land, and we walked from around Norton and Jefferson in a loop. So we went to Crenshaw, west to Crenshaw, south on Crenshaw to the expo station, through the expo station, through the vacant lot, past the Sycamore Grove, down the alley that want to turn into a green alley, and experienced it, and back over the train tracks, you know, and through 36th Street. I mean, it was a very good walk and shined a light on a couple of things, one of which was how bad the expo actual way to go from the expo line station to the Crenshaw K line station. It's terrible. There's not a good transition at all. And sunny, you know, you're not, there's no shade structure. And then for anybody just crossing the train line at Degnan, scary, and hot. I mean, so it was a very interesting thing, but reason I'm bringing that up under the master green plan is we also looked at the green alley. We may have to rethink some of the possibilities there, because they're thinking that where the cars are all parked on the commercial side on the north might in fact be private property. I'm not sure, because CMS shows it differently. Anyway, we did the walk. We, you know, so that's one project that we've been talking about for the master green plan. There's been activity on some of the others, and one of the things that we've been saying all along is, if you have a dream, try to dream, you know, don't just dream it, try to put it into action.
Yeah.
Because why, you know, you might be, what's that phrase, Don Quixote tipping at windmills or whatever he did, but maybe you're not. So of interest, somebody on the big map took like 2 pages worth of trees and put them on the freeway to indicate a freeway cap. So, well, we're never going to cap the entire freeway as a park through all of UNNC. But after that, the city of Santa Monica actually got a $2 million federal grant just 2 weeks ago to study capping their freeway, the 10 freeway, but capping in a neighborhood called Pico neighborhood, which is similar to our West Adams Heights neighborhood, i.e. was an African-American community cut in half by the freeway. So coincidental to that, a group of us who won some lovely awards for a project called the Stories of Sugar Hill. So it's a coalition of organizations. USC, it's Amazing Grace Observatory. It's not UNNC, but it is West Adams Heritage. So I'm involved as the historian on the project. It's an organization called Architecture Plus Advocacy, and some other entities have been invited by a Cal Poly professor to help him develop a semester long on transformative something for Sugar Hill. And so we're now talking about maybe the class can do that study on a cap, you know, to bring, you know, and then what would be on it. So,
Well, remember what I just said about indigestion.
too much.
Too much.
But what I'm trying to
So
tell
what-
you is, these are all ideas
Yeah.
that have come, either caused us to create the master plan, or have come from community, not the Sugar Hill thing, but exactly. But the Sugar Hill, the West Adams Heights of Sugar Hill cap has been talked about for years, but under the category of it'll never happen. So I'm thinking, no, let's start talking about it as part of the Green Master Plan, that it could happen.
Yeah.
You know,
And then let's make small things happen so that they can see that the people who are involved,
Right.
the ones with the budgets, the ones with the decision making.
right,
Can see that we have momentum. Here,
Sure.
that we have community
Right.
engagement.
so how that led to, it's actually on the agenda. Is simply that the Neighborhood Council Sustainability Alliance actually sent out an email to interested parties saying, has any neighborhood council ever adopted a median? Because we'd like you to talk about it at the Congress of Neighborhoods. So I don't know what answer they got. We have not, but we have discovered that in doing this big green master plan, that the medians on Washington have become less planted than when they started out. And a garden that Lonnie Los Angeles Neighborhood Initiative did on Oxford is a mess. So it does seem to me that maybe we could adopt one median or that garden
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
And
And this is, I'll pass it around, a map that can be easily found on Environmental or whatever of us, and then some green sections. We all know probably the little green sections on either side of the freeway on Crenshaw. And sometimes there are people selling flowers on there or.
well, there's a
or
median there too.
But there's a median, that's right.
Right.
There's a median on, I didn't get down to the south when I was doing
Right.
this, but there's a big median on Normandy and Washington.
Yes.
You know, it's like
Well,
a,
that's on our green map. I'm saying all of
Yeah.
these things got put on, people have put them on the green
then-
map, not
right,
just
and then in
Laura.
that, yeah, and then there's a little one, there's a little island at the
Horribly
Byzantine, the Byzantine court.
No, it's at Venice.
It's not a Pico, there's,
There's a little island where you can turn on to Normandy.
yeah,
And then there's that's it.
and then the Byzantine big building is right there.
No, well, maybe there's
Well,
another one.
there is
Maybe
another-
there's
there is
two.
Yeah, the one in Washington, absolutely, okay.
There's one
and
at
then there's-
Washington, certainly one at Venice, and I
No.
don't know that there is or isn't one at Pico.
And then we probably all noticed, or if you were at the Debbie Allen
Right.
day, right next to the Debbie Allen thing.
Manhattan
was-
to St. Anne.
Yeah, and then there's that one, and then there's another one at Fifth Avenue, and there's one another at 10th Avenue that is in the middle of the street, and it's a bedraggled thing.
Yeah.
So a little bit of tidying, a little bit of mulch.
Well, what I'd like to see that
Some
too,
replanting.
replanting, because all of those have more trees and bushes.
Yeah, but you
And
know
they
what?
have irrigation.
They
This
do.
is yes, I noticed when we were sitting for a very long time at the Debbie Allen, it's like, oh, look, I see sprinklers. I also see tire tracks, you know, in the dirt, but
And I'd like to see, so I'd like a little bit more control over what they plant there, because, I mean, they could overwater it. And natives don't like to be overwatered, but some salvia would be better than the whatever spiky.
are there native, go ahead.
No, I
Okay.
just said
Are
that's
there-
easy.
Are there
Yeah,
native annuals?
absolutely.
Because,
Poppy isn't.
well, obviously, then it reseeds. But are there,
Somebody has to clean it up.
Yeah,
It's dry and kindled.
right.
right, well, that's why it's called adopta, not just a gorilla it. Although I would be inclined to gorilla it, except for that
It
we're
would be
on, we're
great to
being
bring the people
recorded.
who actually live there,
Sure,
interested in adopting it.
right, so there's a median at LaSalle in Washington that Dan adopted.
Really?
Right, the Harvard, I mean, West Ham Heights built it. I mean, it was a multi-year project. UNNC was involved.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember how we were involved. It was when we could still do community improvement projects that took 7 years to implement,
Uh-huh.
where they still allowed the money to stay. But it just finished 3 years ago. And Dan his own self
Yeah.
is the person who once a month weeds it, waters it,
That's great.
then he creates an event.
Well, so that doesn't need care. So what are you suggesting that we adopt?
I don't know what we're suggesting. We're just saying,
I think there's a problem with or not a problem, but an opportunity of getting people who are immediately adjacent to these areas to start becoming more, adopting it. Like I remember Siobhan was saying how with all the trees that they just planted over there, the neighbors there right across the street, they feel very vested in like taking care of these trees.
Nice.
So it's a matter of getting the people who are immediately around that area, talking to them about the situation and getting them interested in it. And as I was driving by, I kept noticing that there are some neighbors in my neighborhood who have beautiful trees and beautiful landscape. And I was thinking, would it be nice to like have like a door, what is that, a door hanger from UNNC that says, "Dear neighbor, I just wanted to let you know I appreciate this beautiful tree you have in front of your house, and how well you take care of it." And just bring these people out to say, these are the people who are like the caretakers. And for them to say, "Hey, thanks for noticing." And then somehow we can connect with them to say, "Hey, you want to talk to your other neighbor next door to say, can they start looking out?" Because what I do with my vacant, problematic property is when I weed and blow and clean up my garden, I go and weed and blow and clean up their garden.
Oh boy, I did that when I was
So,
28.
exactly.
First moved into the neighborhood.
I'm getting that way too. I have arthritis. And
Yeah.
I've got problems.
No,
but-
I mean,
Little by little.
I cleaned other people's
things.
along with my own. Now I'm
Yeah.
having trouble keeping up on my own.
Exactly. Exactly.
But so I'm taking notes, absolutely, I love canvassing,
Well,
I love going door to
but-
door.
I mean,
Can you,
if
but could you also contact, what's her name from NCSA?
I'm Lisa Hart.
Lisa, and ask her if she got any yes answers.
Oh,
Did any neighborhood council say yes? We've
Uh-huh.
adopted.
wow,
I mean, let's not wait till the Congress of Neighborhoods. Let's see
right.
now if anybody has.
And I think we should say yes. I think we should.
Well, it's not gonna be that,
Yes.
but it wouldn't
Yes,
be
but
that
who's gonna
easy.
do it?
It wouldn't,
Well-
no, it's more than that. It's a yes, but with virtually zero budget. Virtually zero.
Well, we could talk to Ally about identifying the medians and telling them there are certain things that we can't
Right.
just do.
Okay, well, I guess what I'm
There's an
saying,
HOA, we don't have
there's
a budget.
there's medians,
Yeah,
but there's also that Oxford Street garden is not in the median. It's a garden that you could have a cleanup day in that garden as opposed to a cleanup day of trash.
sorry, which one are you talking about?
It's on Oxford between Washington and Venice. And it's a easement on private property. That Lonnie arranged, and the garden's just a freaking mess. And it's across the street from where Eric and Darby Bronson used to live years ago. But they don't live there anymore. They live in Michigan. And so this woman, Darby, used to basically,
So that's the one you proposed that we would,
well, that's one way to do it would be to do a cleanup day
right,
at the garden.
Excellent idea.
Which is not the same thing as planting,
right.
but once we start doing
That's an
a
excellent-
community improvement.
People need that in
You know,
these areas.
And it could be a first effort to see how many people actually come out.
I'm gonna say something that might dovetail into the next round of building the partnership organization, is I have a neighbor who works for a youth climate transformation organization.
Oh,
And I
wow.
told them about this, or, I said, hey, you should show up to this, because if you got young people who need something to do to get work credit or to be part of an environmental movement, to go clean up their neighborhood, because he's like, they're very local. I'm like, we got a lot of projects here. So he's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna talk, we're planning on it. They're planning on doing some kind of presentation to come and try to figure out what they could do with the neighborhood council.
Well,
And it's like,
could
the,
he come to
ADAP?
one of these meetings?
well, I mean, I
Well, I mean, officially, because
Yeah,
Elizabeth
of course.
invited to present
yeah.
on the
Of
agenda.
course, he says he's getting ready to do
Yeah.
that, to ask for that invitation.
Mhm.
But, it's kind of like the ADAP, like I was gonna ask Tammy. Hey, Tammy, do you guys have any kind of workforce projects like this? I sent something to Teresa about a grant that the county of LA was soliciting for water trucks or watering for trees. And I sent it to her thinking, there's $3 million for this. They're looking for people to do it for 3 years. Like, there's gotta be businesses that could do that here in Los Angeles. She's like, this is county, this is like for something else. And I'm like, I understand that, but the city of Los Angeles have that. And if we can get somebody who has a water truck, to go around and water the trees, with a big UNNC logo on it or something, that would be.
Well, I actually had the dumb idea, because no one, even the city has no money, of asking that every single council office, because they all have these cleanup crews, that every single council office lease a water truck.
Yes.
So maybe 15 water
That would be
trucks,
wonderful.
but you know, that would be in an era where they had more money.
Well, but there's apparently 3 million in the county, so there's got to be more money somewhere.
Right.
And Blumenfeld, he was, he can arrange it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure you could.
Heather Hunt.
Well,
So,
so we're gonna look at the, I would, that our actions then would be that I think we tell Elisa Hart, yes, that we're interested in adopting a median.
Well-
With the amendments that it's an outreach.
well,
to
that wasn't your
neighbors.
question. Her question was, have any neighborhood councils already done it, and will they speak? My question for you to ask Lisa is, did she get an answer
Yeah.
from any neighborhood councils?
Right.
Whose answer was yes, they had done it, but we want to know how it was done,
Mhm.
right? And that's what, the answer may have been no.
That makes sense. But we'll also maybe look to that garden. I will go find the garden that you're talking about. And that
Pretty
happens,
ugly and obvious.
it's not gonna be an hour, not an hour cleanup. But
It could be-
more of an
It
organization.
could be
and
2 hours because it's too hot to do more.
That's
But
right.
if you had, in this case, enough people, I mean, that would be something we'd ask for help.
Right, and maybe, and again, Ally said that if we had 6 people and we had a regular thing.
Right, right.
So let's get to the regular thing and let's get to a crew.
Well, let
I
me just
need
say
to
that
work-
Michael lives on that phone, the vice president.
Okay.
So he has never said a word about it, but that doesn't mean he couldn't.
Michael Arks.
So does she.
Oh, yeah.
UNNC vice president.
Oh, he's on that, okay.
He lives on the block.
Okay. Great, ooh, great, okay, so that leads to the next thing, list of allies and partners.
Okay.
It's simply, right. I started writing down what we'd already talked about, which is, well, I had KYCC.
Yeah, I mean, there's a list, I kind of was thinking out loud, I put it on here, but are there others? I mean, these are all entities we have worked with.
Right,
Or given the money or given the
Right.
money.
Right.
And it's not, I mean, there's a longer list.
yeah, exactly, and that's all I'm asking for, is that let's develop that list a little bit more. And then look at it and say, have we reached out, have to any of or all of them? Any year, we should make sure that we have regular contact with them, like the Rediscover Center and ADAP. She comes to our meetings, she presents, but I don't have any interaction with her and I don't really know how we might adapt.
Well, I might ask her if that could, depending on their facility description. She said, we have a community room, you guys can be here. I might ask her if we can have our election. They have a great parking lot. But they have to meet certain criteria.
Okay.
That the city clerk has specified. In great detail.
And I guess it's like this stuff, so this is garden school. This is. Okay, now let's just move forward, so we'll continue to build that allies, right? We'll just continue.
Well, it's one thing to list on, it's another thing
Okay.
to list
Can I take a picture?
contact
Yes,
information.
please.
This is,
I can make you one for next time. I like it in the cardstock too, and let me just say that the action that I agree to take is to make a list.
right, with its contacts, this is just a list.
Right, to share in the next meeting. I don't know how we'll use it yet, but, so. The newsletter,
And then it should be longer than this. I mean, in other words,
absolutely,
Shala represents another organization that's active, Crop Swap. That's
Oh,
active
excellent.
here, I didn't put on that.
that's right.
I mean, how can we haven't interfaced with them, but how can we? And I forgot to put South LA Trees, that's Teresa's organization, so. There are other
Yeah,
organizations.
absolutely, so yeah. I am overrun with information. Right, it's the emails, it's the flyers that I get when I go places. it's just, they're everywhere and they're all the time. And I want everybody to know all this information. The question is, how do I get it to them? And so that was the idea of the newsletter. Now, a newsletter sounds like it should be every month, and I don't have
It could be quarterly, but it should have a regular schedule.
a regular schedule, right? And
I mean, once you have it, people expect it. You know,
yes, they do.
if it's called a newsletter,
They do.
if it's a bulletin.
Yeah.
Lower expectation.
And a resource, I mean, I think the thing that I have the capacity to do right now is sort of a resource page on our website that I then point to. And then too, if it expands beyond our bounds, then I would try to partner with somebody about how, like with area neighborhood councils, should we share the responsibility for it, for such a thing? Because like Mink could use the same information.
But do they engage? I mean, UNNC right now, this has not always been true and may not always be true, but right now we're engaged rather deeply in broadly speaking, I'd say sustainability. Thing, which is not just one or another green thing, it's not just climate change, but we're talking about the topic as well in parts of our discussions about developments at planning and zoning. And we're talking about it in the Economic Development Committee and transportation businesses. So that's, so the idea of sustainability.
Everywhere, everything.
Well, I have to say, like the California Preservation Foundation is having a seminar a workshop next week on reducing, what's it called? Carbon gases, greenhouse gases through adaptive reuse, something.
Nice.
The topic is something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, what they're saying is don't tear down the buildings, I assume. But it's a topic of, broad sustainability is important. I don't know if it, because I didn't think about our website.
Let's go back.
You had said newsletter, but
Yeah.
it may make more sense for you to work with Ann Zumwinkle, does our website, to figure out a sustainability resource corner. Because that can be, you load up some of these evergreens right away, and then just as stuff comes up, add to it. Whatever it is. And then there's no expectations that we have to produce something at a certain date.
But okay, so then the question is, and I know we're out of time and we still have two.
Well,
more.
one more, not too
We're
bad.
going, right?
I mean, are you willing to talk to Ann about that?
Absolutely, I absolutely am. But the thing is, then you have to get people to the website. So the thing is how best to get people the important information, which is people they just need that like looking into their eyes and saying, this is the number you call for bulky item pickup. Would you get out your phone and put the number in your phone?
And so here's my partial answer. Or maybe my complete answer. One thing that works when you're at outreach events that we're not doing, that West Adams Heritage did do successfully, is you create a flyer, you create whatever you're creating, you include a QR code on it, and then you tape it to the posts. So in other words, people coming by say, oh, that's they can put the whole PDF newsletter in their, download it into their phone, but we tape it up so they could see. And that worked like at Cyclavias, and it works. Or we also have, we have it on the flyer. So those are publications that we're sharing, that you can do the same with our website. The sustainability corner can have its own URL. It does have its own URL, its own QR code. Because once you get to the URL, so we're not doing that, but we can and should. In terms of our actual emailed outreach, the reach is lessening, not growing. I don't know why it's not growing. I mean, we're doing a lot of outreach, but people are not signing up to get our e-blasts. Even though we're doing a lot of outreach,
Because everyone's overwhelmed.
that may be, but
And
No one wants to read,
And the TLDR too long to read.
yeah,
but you're spending a third of your budget, UNNC, on the website.
well, we
And it needs to be accurate, it needs to be
To do.
up to date.
I think they're trying to.
I know, but I'm just saying that, it's a very, because like I said, I've been complaining about it, so, and thank you for, making it more updated, but like, I reached out to like my rep, Shivani, who's supposed to be my rep, and then realized she's not even my rep. And I was like, why is she not even responding? And then I was like, she's like, it's mislabeled,
Right.
and they're not responding back because I don't know if they're getting the emails. So people are probably like at your event going, I'm gonna go online and like maybe reach out, and then not getting a response.
Well, that, I understand,
So,
but
And
what
what I
I
liked your idea too about YouTube. Like, I think we
Right.
have to make videos.
But what I'm also saying is the following, it's like, I can at least tell you how many people do or don't read a given e-books.
Oh, yeah,
I can tell you, I know how many people click through to which items, because MailChimp has that service.
and what is the click through?
It's not great, but sometimes it is. I mean, it just depends.
It's great. I like.
Yeah, but look, this is not a comment about if they're good or bad, just saying.
It
The
matters.
reach, but the reach,
Yeah.
and then so like, I'm really looking at it right now, because I want to see how many people click through to this traffic study, survey.
I got this through Jefferson Park Watch,
That's
and I
fine.
did it right away.
Right, but that
Because-
came through us anyway, I mean, in other words, that
I
came
know,
from
but-
Caesar, but I can't track that. What I'm trying to say is, if somebody does it because of the MailChimp even, but the problem is, I don't know why, but apparently our volunteers who do our Instagram and Facebook do not know how to track the reach. And I don't know why, because with West End's Heritage, you can track the reach. So it has to be the same kind of system. So I just don't know how effective we're being. So, and it's unfortunate, I can't make any reports out. And we can just keep trying, but for a newsletter, if we were emailing it out, it's the same problem. We still have the same people to contact. And it's basically 1,000 people out of 60,000 people. And that number's not shrinking, but it's absolutely not growing.
People that I've talked to about who were formerly part of UNNC do not come anymore or do not participate because they're too busy. And they're like, yeah, I get a ton of stuff by email and I just cannot respond to it. But they do go to Jefferson Park Watch because it's very, very specific about crime. And we see the police there. We see they're there, and it's like 20, 30 people, so, and it's very committed. Yeah.
Right. What do you think, Chris? Do you actually read the UNNC e-blasts?
Sporadically,
Sometimes.
yeah.
What about other?
I've been to
e-blasts that
the
you've done
website.
other- Yeah,
Once.
once?
Yeah,
Well, the going to the website, it wasn't really what I was talking about. I was saying driving people to a particular place on the website.
yeah.
I think we could do that.
I go looking for information on the website.
Right, well, you're that person.
And it's hidden. Everything's in the agenda and then links and
Well, I don't
It's
even want
buried,
to talk
yeah.
about that.
data is buried. So this being directly out will be fantastic because
Well-
then I will be like, this website is very helpful.
Right,
Mhm.
well, and honestly, I don't even know how to find the YouTube channel.
See?
Right. I mean, I just,
Okay,
I
let's-
just go
let's
into my old
inside-
email where somebody
let's
emailed
inside.
me how to get to YouTube on our website, but anyway.
This will be very interesting, I think. And also Nextdoor, you could always do post on Nextdoor. And then I post on Nextdoor, whatever
Yeah.
information I get, I post on Nextdoor. I get a ton of people responding. And then I send it back to either Jefferson Park Watch or to UNNC.
So,
Echo.
so I think we can talk a little further about it going forward, not tonight because we want to get out. But I know you listed, basically, these are sort of evergreen topics.
Mhm.
And there are many, many, many other evergreen topics, but my cautionary is, because I used to do it, as Elizabeth knows, I used to do a number of newsletters. And there's places you can get these evergreen articles and not worry about copyright because they were written as PR pieces by somebody. You know, so there's a little PR to them. But the city has a ton of these articles as well in the various departments. Like SEMA will publish it, climate emergency, and SEMA will do an article, or the Los Angeles Beautiful will do an article, LA Sand does articles. So those are every single one of those, including anything the planning department puts out in their newsletter. We have 100% right to use without worrying about copyright. Whereas anything else that we grab, we have to make sure we have copyright, and we cannot put it on the website in particular without knowing we have clearance. So anything we write ourselves, we have clearance. And anything we grab from another city department has clearance.
Oh, another city department. Okay.
Anything the
Okay.
city well, the reason we have to be really careful is that once we publish it, we're the city. So we've just, if we're violating somebody's copyright,
Yeah.
it's a multiplier effect because it's been published by the city.
I think it's just easier just to scan these in there. The flyers that you have.
Well, we won't be able to do that under ADA, so that's the other thing we're gonna need to be careful.
And this one's, I mean, this one, it was in April.
That's not the point. That we're also having to redesign everything because of the federal ADA requirements for
Right, like this would be-
websites. Yeah,
Is it
no,
so?
they couldn't, yes, scanned or request a digital version. I don't know what I mean, we're gonna have problems. We don't have problems yet, but we'll have problems by April. And I don't know if we have to take things down come April. So we have to keep that in mind too. That's why I'm saying work with Anne. Because she's the one working on also the ADA compliance. Our whole website is gonna have to have some alterations. For example, we can't use red ink anymore. Our agendas are gonna have to have alteration. Can't use all caps.
Why?
People with low vision or who use readers,
I see.
so there has to be more contrast. There has to be, and all caps is hard to read. We're gonna have to change fonts. It's a lot of stuff.
Is FEMA director?
Okay,
We'll
oh yeah,
just fix
moving
the
on
one.
to no, that's not my issue, so
Well, it's this.
you know more than.
Well, I know nothing more than I want to put there. The mayor fired Marta Segura, and it turns out she did hire someone to replace her. This is the Office of Climate Emergency, it's the Climate Emergency Mobilization Office and Chief Heat Officer. So last year and the year before, if, for example, today's the hottest day of a week, we would have received from that office material to distribute. Like, where are the cooling centers? You know, what to do if it's too hot. I mean, you know, we're getting nothing. So, you know, we took a wait and see a couple of months ago when she was fired. So yay, they've hired someone, but what are they doing? Would be, you know, just my question. We have no answers. That's my question.
They're melting.
Yes.
And we can nudge, I mean, we can nudge.
Well, that's true. It's like, I suppose we could send an email and say, do you have anything for us to send out?
We are eager.
We're eager to share this information with our stakeholders, and we are. But
Well, so yeah, is anybody willing to nudge our new
yeah, I can do
climate
it,
emergency person?
because I'm the person who's supposed to be on their email, their distribution list.
Okay. Yeah, oh, good. So you will.
Well, because I do our newsletter,
Great.
our non-newsletter newsletter, our community news MailChimp emails. All right.
And I think, and any new or old business?
Is that Christine?
That's
Well, I'm
Christie.
very, I'm very close to getting my internet map together and getting all the data there. I would love to show it to you because you had mentioned here about how do we get people to understand where the airflow quality is and airflow and all of that. So I have that all on.
I'd like to
this
know
map.
how the hot heat spots
And
are.
I got a map with all the heat spots. I took the information from from the living infrastructure. They got their information from the American Forestry Department.
Right.
That is overlap with the California, Quality of Life Index. So I can tell you each census tract of what the poverty level is, what the canopy is, what the heat index is, what so you can target census tract by census tract within the UNNC
Right.
border. And you can, because, like as Caesar was saying, there are areas where if you have a great plan and it's not a priority, then there's no point in trying to get funding for it because it's not considered a priority. But if you look on your map and say, these are our census tracts that are a priority, that have, a heat index of this, has, then you can target.
Great.
So I'd love to show it to you.
Right. So. Okay, and I'm circling back to something I said earlier about the freeway cap. There's one like little light bulb moment I had is like some of the renderings you see of these dream ideas have beautiful trees. It's like, that's not gonna happen. There wouldn't be enough dirt.
Oh,
So a freeway cap park would need to have shade structures. And the little trees and bushes and plantings, but
solar panels.
yeah, but
panels.
what you're not gonna have is California live oaks.
Big trees.
It's
Might not be able to have trees. There's a park in San Francisco that's on the second floor and it's full of trees, But it's on pillars.
Is it shade trees or just pretty cheap trees?
Maybe there are enough of them. I remember there were some not sycamores, there were some eucalyptus.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so there might be some changes.
Yeah, I'm just saying, my little light bulb moment is shade. There's other ways to create shade.
The good news is that, I think LA has been trying to plant trees and countless dead trees. But if you look around at the trees on the street, the ones that have lasted are looking good. I'm really
Yeah.
happy to see them, and I just think in 10 years they'll be.
Right.
Now that Teresa's brought up the whole trees aren't getting water, and I see the dead trees across from Gramercy Park that are just been planted and they're just dying dead.
Oh, no.
And I keep thinking.
Oh, you mean the ones that LA Sand just planted?
They're right across the street
Yes.
from the center, and I go to the meetings and I see these two trees and I think, and it's by the toe.
Oh, those trees,
Those
yeah,
trees.
those
And I think
trees, yes, and they're dead
they're
already.
dead.
Right, but what I was gonna say as well is if you drive into Culver City on Washington Boulevard. They have they just not very long ago created the medians and the whole thing, but they planted a forest of trees and they watered them. And it is just lush in the section between La Cienega and about Cattaraugus.
Yeah, I drive Jefferson Boulevard and outside of the UNNC borders, east, I get to the Redeemers Project, University Village area, beautiful trees that are being planted. And then I go to Culver City, and even though on West Adams, they're all warehouses, these are old mature trees and they're just majestic.
Yeah.
And I think I'm so glad that that's there, but it's also.
But my point is that the trees in Culver City on Washington.
Yeah.
Are new.
Yeah.
Not new yesterday, but
And they're growing, they're flourishing.
they're flourishing.
Yes.
And they were planted,
Who waters them?
must be
why?
the city, it's gotta be the
Right.
city.
Gotta find out. Have them-
And they must have irrigation, but if you just drive down there, cause they've been put in the last 10 years and maybe even less than that. Cause it was
So
part of
it's
their traffic
possible.
slowing,
It's possible.
yeah, okay.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Next
Bye,
time.
Christy.
Good night. Yeah.
Good night.